What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back to Onmyoji. Now, in today's video, let's talk about what the heck do you do in this game? The number one question that I keep receiving is, FG, can you just make an overview video kind of explaining what the heck is going on? And I totally get it. Even though this is kind of like your standard hero collector, the way information is presented in this game is quite different compared to other games. So let this video be your guide. Let's get started. So let's kind of take this from left to right. So if we start over here, this icon right here will change based off of what day it is. So since today is Saturday, you click on this and this will let you know exactly what events are taking place that day. You can see exactly what times they are, and when these events are open, all you have to do is click go and you go directly to these events when they're open. So pretty straightforward. You can also change your time right here to EST time. So if you're kind of confused on when these actually start, you can always change it from EST or to your local time. So that is that. Moving on to the next one, we have this cute little seal doggy, and this is super important to all players, especially free-to-play players, because this guy, I think it's on a 5-hour timer. This guy will give you a list of missions to go out and kill specific mobs, and once you do that, you will be awarded with shards. Now, in Onmyoji, the name of the game is collecting shards and duplicating characters to make them more powerful. That is like the name of the game. That's what you should be striving for. So if you do these missions, you will get randomized shards, and then you can turn around and use those shards over here to unlock new characters. Now, just because you unlock something, that's just the beginning, because you want to unlock them multiple times to duplicate them to make their skills more powerful. Let me give you an example. Now, we all want SSRs. They're the most powerful cards in the game, so obviously that's what we were striving for. However, when it comes to SSRs, due to their very nature of being SSRs, they're going to be extremely hard to duplicate. And since they're hard to duplicate, you're going to have a hard time powering up these skills to level 2, 3, and 4, and 5 to make them even more powerful. So there are going to be instances where you're probably better off using an SR or maybe even an R character because you have gotten lucky and been able to duplicate them several times. So this is why you really want to try to get as many shards as you possibly can. No matter where you get them from, just collect. That way you can kind of power up these characters to make them more powerful. So as you can see right here, this base ability right here is up to level 3 because I was able to collect 2 duplicates of this character. So that is that. So kind of be mindful of that when you're building your team. Who is your most powerful person? Don't just throw your most rare people in there, because there are going to be some instances where those are not the case. So I'm actually going to give you a live example so you can kind of see what I mean just in case. I have a duplicate right here. So we'll go to promote, click here. And as you can see right there, it says skill up. Click that, confirm. Now, as you can see, I get a few levels, and then Featherblade goes from level 1 to level 2, boom. Then I go back over here to info, there it is, skill damage increased by 5%. So keep that in mind when you're building your team. It's not always, a guaranteed rule to use the person that has the most skill or the most rare. You just kind of have to fill it out for yourself as you go along. But that is that. Now, throughout the day, this little guy right here will give you free sushi, so keep an eye on him. So that is that. Over here is the story mode. Do this as soon as they unlock and kind of knock them out. I hear the story is really good, but truth be told, I've just been skipping through it. As you go through the story, it'll allow you to unlock more main characters. And as you can see, all of these main characters have very specific skill sets. So choose the one that complements your team the best. Once again, that'll be a separate video kind of detailing all of the different Onmyojis that you can kind of collect. So that is the courtyard in a nutshell. Now, we'll talk about exploring town in a second, but also keep in mind that you have this little bottom section here as well. We're not going to talk about collection because that's pretty straightforward. Team is something that is extremely awesome in this game. This is basically the co-op screen. This lets you know every single thing that's happening in the game when it comes from a co-op perspective. You can click all, and these are all, hey, hello, how you doing? Nah, all right, get back to the video, FG. This lets you know all of the co-ops that are going on in the game, and you can kind of select what you want to do. Now, all of these co-ops have different things. So this is evolution for fire materials, wind, carp, lightning. Here is a place for you to go collect souls, demon souls. EXP Spirit, Coin Spirit, the Kraken Boss, Nearby Spirits, and Realm Raid. So this is a place that you can go to make sure that you can co-op with as many people as possible. And the really neat thing about this is the fact that this Kraken is like a really rare RNG spawn. So you might not always be able to summon this, but you know, chances are someone else is out there, someone else is gonna get this to summon. So make sure you join their team and keep these on cooldown as much as you possibly can. The rest of these don't have a cooldown, but these do. So you wanna make sure that you jump into someone's party as often as you possibly can to keep these on cooldown to maximize your rewards. Since they have a cooldown, they have the best reward. So this is what you kind of want to focus on. And then, like I said, if you're looking for fire materials, join people's fire team. And as you get stronger, you can actually filter out which stages that you want to do. So if you're too powerful and you don't care about stage 1 anymore, you can kind of filter it to only show stage 3. So this is a screen that you should get really familiar with. This is where co-op lives. And this is where you can see hot pics of ladies in the world. So that is that. I'm not going to talk too much about Guild, but this is one really neat feature about Guild once again. So you can make a wish and request specific shards that you're looking for characters that you want. So it's limited per day, but this is one of my favorite features of this guild system. A lot of times these games have guild systems that don't really, there's really no synergy, there's really no, like togetherness, but this is awesome. So if I want to help this team member out, I can donate some of these extra shards that I have to help him out, and he can do the same thing for me. So this is really awesome to kind of help your guild build their characters, right? So this is pretty cool. Make sure that you always, make sure you join a guild first, and make sure you're always in here wishing and donating if you can afford to spare the shards, especially if it's a character that you're never going to use. Why not? So that is that. Of course, the mall. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I kind of showed this in another video. I think this is a screen that you should be very accustomed to going into. As far as I can tell, gold is very plentiful when it comes to these amounts, so you can always spare 600 gold, right? You might not always be able to spare 30,000, but 600 you should be able to spare. I always buy the cheaper ones every single day because, you know, building a soul kit, I guess that's the best way to explain it, is very important when it comes to the power of your character. So always do that. And like I said, I'm not going to go through the shop too much, but there is a ton of things in here for you to buy with real life currency as well as tokens, but that'll have to be a separate video. The thing I really want you guys to focus on when you log in per day is this soul shop, to make sure that you can get, that way you can get soul drops without having to worry about RNG all the time. So, you have to deal with the RNG when you fight stages. At least here, this kind of lessens the RNG because you have more chances to get the souls that you're looking for. So always, always, always jump in there. Of course, this is pretty straightforward. You have daily quests and achievements. Just click those as they become available. Friends list, we're not going to talk about. We already talked about powering up your characters and things of that nature. Over here in town, Duel will be lit up when it's time for duels to be lit up. We already talked about that. This is based on the event timer. Same thing with Demon Encounter and same thing with Demon Hunt. Demon Parade is another place where you can just get free shards. I'm gonna have to show you this in a separate video, but basically all this is you throw beans at different you throw beans at different demons, and if you kill them, you collect their shards. So it's an interesting little system here. I'm gonna have to show that to you in another video. But if you have any parade tickets, make sure that you use them. So that is that. Now let's go back to the courtyard. And lastly, to kind of finish this off, you have Explore. Now, Explore is your bread and butter. This is where it all kind of goes down. So these chapters that you see on the side, they unlock as you progress through the story. Now, of course, you just want to go in here and clear these out because they do have first-time clear rewards as well. So as you can see, you have some achievement rewards that give you gold as well as cash shop currency. So you definitely want to do that. Also, as you defeat these stages, you have a very rare chance to unlock the spirit of those stages. So as you can see right here, I have 2 spirits unlocked with 1 unknown. So as you grind this stage over and over and over and over, there's a rare chance you might uncover a spirit, which is great because if you do, you can fight that spirit using challenge tickets, which I don't have right now, but you can fight that spirit using challenge tickets to get even more shards. Have I said shards enough time in this video? You gotta collect shards, you gotta dupe your team to make them more powerful. So this is another way to do that. And like I said, you wanna grind these stages quite a bit so you can unlock those specific demons. Because, you know, there might be a demon here on chapter 7 that you really want, but since you haven't grinded the stage, you haven't unlocked it. It's just another way to get even more souls and more shards. So that is that. We already talked about the evolution materials. There's fire, wind, azure, and lightning. This corresponds to evolving your characters. Evolving your characters changes the look of them, and it also makes them more powerful. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. As you can see, you can change the skin to make them a lot cooler looking. Pun intended. Moving on there. And like I said, the game shows you exactly which things that you need to collect in order to evolve those characters. And all of those things are quite easy to get. All you have to do is just press get. It takes you directly where you need to be. And all of these stages basically correspond to how hard they are. The harder the stage, the better. Now you can do these for co-op. You can do these in co-op. But do keep in mind that you can't co-op stage 5 until you're able to defeat stage 5 solo on your own. So once you're able to actually defeat one of these stages by yourself, then you can co-op it all day long. So that is kind of how that works. So those are evolution materials. And while we're kind of talking about evolution materials, this is your buff timer here. So if I want to really grind evolution materials for today, what you want to do is turn your buff on when you're doing those specific things. So since I'm not doing evolution materials, I'm going to keep that pause. But if I were, I would press this, and then I would just go crazy doing evolution materials. Or if I want to do souls, I'll do this and I'll do this and go crazy there. I really like this system because you can pause your buffs. You can buy these buffs in the cash shop, so it's really good that they're not wasted when you want to go AFK or something like that. So pretty cool there. Next thing up is you have souls. Now, this changes every single day. So what you want to do is go in here and take a look at what souls are currently dropping. I think on Saturday and Sundays it's all random, but don't quote me on that just yet. But at least for today it is. So randomly drops all types of souls 3. So you can go in here and get random souls all over the place. But if you come in on like a Tuesday, it's going to be a very specific set of souls that that will drop based off of this. So do keep that in mind. This right here is another RNG system that, you know, as you play the game, this will unlock. So for example, to give you a really good example, let's say I'm playing the game, I'm fighting, and this unlocks, and it unlocks and it's this character right here. So I can fight that stage, I think it's about 8 times or so. I can fight that stage about 8 times to get shard drops every single time. So when those happen, you definitely want to rush out to that little section and do it as many times as you possibly can, which I think is like 8, but don't quote me on the number because I forgot. But you can do it up to a limited amount of times. Do it as fast as possible because it is timed and it is limited, but you can go in there and get shards for those specific characters. And it does take sushi to do those. So make sure you have some sushi on hand to make sure that you can do those when they spawn. And then last but not least, there is PvP. The PvP system is very interesting. So in order to do PvP, you have to have raid tickets or realm challenge passes. I'm sorry. You have to have these tickets. So I only have 4, so I can only PvP 4 times. These are collected as randomized drops throughout the game. So as you explore and as you fight, these will drop, and then you can use these to turn around and do PvP. Now, you basically get a board of characters that you have to defeat before you move on to the next one. You can refresh it, but I think it's not a good thing to do it because I think it gets more difficult the more you refresh it. But don't quote me on that. I haven't really had a chance or need to use it. But here is the board that you'll need to do. You attack all of these guys right here, defeat them in PvP. Once you defeat all of them, you'll get a new board with more and more powerful people. As you go up the rank, you'll get better and better ranks. As you get more and more ranks, you get better rewards. There's also a PvP guild system as well. So this is our guild defeating another guild right here. So Guild War is already in the game. That is impressive. So right here, hopefully someone can defeat these guys, but it doesn't really matter because we've already basically defeated this guild. And then we'll get a bunch of currency here as a reward. So very, very cool. So I think I've pretty much covered most of the game. Yeah, I think we kind of covered it. Now, obviously, play the game, play around with it, get an idea of it. The more you play it, the more simple everything is. My best advice that I can give you is just have a plan when you log in, right? What I can kind of see, refreshing your stamina is not a very good use of Cash App currency. So as you can see, it costs 60 and the cost goes up every single time you refresh it. So I don't think you really want to do this at all because 60 is quite a lot. When you look at summon, it costs 100 to do one summon. So 60 to refresh your stamina, ugh. I don't think that's a good value. So you definitely, what you want to do is have a really good plan on what you want to do. Look at this, and here's co-op right here. Let's go ahead and join this guy's co-op team. So when you log in, just have a really good plan on what you want to do. Come in here, use your stamina, and knock out that plan. And there you go. So I think that'll pretty much cover it. Once again, my name is FG3000. What are you doing here? You invited me here? I like these little things. Watch this. I was going to say, hurry up, noob. You can actually unlock more stickers. Look at this. I'm going to give him a little kiss. But anyway, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Once again, my name is FG3000. Let me know if there's anything I can do to kind of ease your transition into this game. Because it is quite different, but I think it's a fantastic game. This game is oozing with content, it's oozing with charm. The presentation, the production values are fantastic, so highly recommended. So this is Onmyoji. I'm about to lose this. We are getting destroyed. We are like legit getting destroyed. We're gonna have to like kind of clear these guys out ASAP. There we go. My vampire keeping herself alive with that life tap, baby. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Later.